Well, let's talk about that because it's a bit of a joke right now, as far as I'm concerned. You're the world record holder in the 100 back, and you can't go to the World Championships to swim. So without being controversial in a way, it's just us having a conversation in terms of the position you're in, right? There has been kind of this selection policy, it seems, for the way that USA Swimming selects their team for the World Short Course for a number of years now, and it doesn't seem like that has shifted with the times. Here you are, a professional athlete who stands to make a ton of money at a meet like the World Short Course, and you don't even qualify based on the qualification criteria. So what is it, and where do you stand right now?
I mean, I tried to read the document and it never really specifies whether or not they use short course or long course. By now I'm pretty sure they're using long course times, which is frustrating. Because, like a few years ago when there wasn't the ISL, you can use long course meter times. That makes sense. But now that there are so many people doing short course meters, and I mean, even short course yards could be, you can't exclusively use that, but you can bring that into, your selection process at least a little bit. I just think the way that they're selecting is it's outdated, like you said. And I don't know where I stand. I have heard nothing from USA Swimming. Granted, I also haven't reached out to ask where I am, but yeah, I haven't. And I think through the selection process, even if I were to go, I wouldn't go for the 100 back. It would be for fly and potentially relays. But yeah, even then, I haven't heard anything. So yeah.
Wow, it's stunning to me, first of all, that you haven't heard anything as the world record holder. I mean, it just happened. It's not like you did it 2 years ago and you think, well, I broke that. Like, you literally just broke the world record. How long ago was it now? About 4 weeks ago, maybe, or a little longer?
I think it was like a little bit longer. Yeah, it was the
Maybe
end of
6 weeks.
August.
Right. Okay. A couple of months ago, let's say you just broke the world record, and you haven't heard anything from USA Swimming. I mean, to me, that's shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating because, like I said earlier, like I would have loved to have gone. That would have been the main focus for me. There's like no bigger honor than representing your country. Thankfully, I have had the opportunity to do it once before, and I would love to do it again. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating to not really be high up there, even though, like you said, I'm a world record holder in short course meters. I'm top 10 in the 50 back. I'm top 10 in the 100 fly, and I only swum that individually once, all time. And yeah, it's just, I think it's outdated the way that they selected, and hopefully it changes, and maybe they'll reach out, and so if anyone's at USA Swimming's listening, I'd love to go. But
well, I think there's that, and I think look, honestly, I'll give you some advice. I think you have every right to reach out and say, listen, I'm the world record holder now. Like, where do I stand? How can we change the policy in the future to get people like me? Because you're right. Like, there are so many more chances for people to post times now. And I got into an argument the other day with somebody on Twitter, and they said, well, instead of complaining about, what do you suggest? No, one of my suggestions was just 2 months out from the meet, take the top times in the world. If you want to take the best team and the fastest team, we've got guys like Tom Shields, Beta Nielsen. She's on your team as well. Mm-hmm. And then yourself as examples, right? People that are posting the fastest times in the world, and just take it based on that criteria. A couple of months out, say, all right, who's posted times within the last 12 months? These are the fastest people. We're going to take them. But basing it off, and that's just a suggestion. There's other ways to do it. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because you stand to lose so much money. If you break the world record at the championship, that's $50,000 right off the bat, right?
I mean, yeah, I actually haven't even looked at it, but
I've looked at it for you. It's $50,000 if you break the world record at the meet, man. That's an income right there. That's a year's income. Right? I mean, a good solid year's income. I mean, come on, like you're fresh out of college. you're trying to be a professional athlete. You're starting a young family as well. You want to be in this sport for many years to come. 50 grand can change your life, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I keep saying it's frustrating, but I mean, really, that's all there is to it. And like you mentioned, Tom and Beta. I mean, I've been following Tom in the World Cup stops, and he's been swimming lights out. Beta was killing it in ISL, and USA Swimming didn't even release the selection criteria until right before the fourth meet um, of the ISL season, or our fourth meet, sorry. And it just kind of seems like I know USA Swimming doesn't exactly put a large focus on short course worlds, which I don't exactly understand because we swim short course yards, so like it translates pretty well. But it's just I don't understand why they don't want to send their best team. It's like they're just going with what they've always done, and because that's worked out for them in the past. But I think a lot of other countries are starting to focus on other things that USA Swimming could take notes from. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. And maybe there was some really good reasons why they had that selection policy in place. And maybe it made sense in the past. It just doesn't make sense anymore based on the fact that, you've got some of the best swimmers, world record holders sitting on the bench who don't qualify based on their criteria, who stand to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's where the argument comes in, is that you guys are now, it feels like they're taking income away from you. They're withholding income from you, your potential income, based on the fact that you could go out there, break a world record at the meet, get that money, get the money for winning the race, do some other races, potentially come away with close to 100 grand based off that one meet for a few days of racing. I mean, that's life-changing for a swimmer, honestly. So I think that's where the argument comes in. I think it needs to have a serious look at it. I'm going to keep complaining about it for you, man. I know that the swimmers don't want to go out there and publicly, complain for themselves, and I kind of get that. But I think if people like me or other people like me make enough noise, we can kind of force some change onto this thing. I just think it's too valuable for people like you. So that's where I stand on that thing.